Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Yes, it is the Daily Dish, and it is Motivational Monday, and you are in the right place. I, on the other hand, am recording this earlier for you, so I'm not going to be saying hello to you. Except I am saying hello, one great big hello. But I usually like to greet you in the door as you're walking in. But today can't do that when we're all wound up with recording, can I? A couple of things I want to tell you is not sure if you've seen this, but our Thanksgiving menus are out. They are free. Do you know this is one of the ways that we became famous, if you will? Is our Thanksgiving menu mailer is what we've called it for years. And it's also what started my book, Saving Dinner for the Holidays. That was done in 2005, I guess it was, way back then. Gosh, I can't believe how quickly time goes by. But anyway, the menu is not just like, hey, make a turkey and here's some stuffing and here's some cranberries. It's the menu, it's the recipes, it's the shopping list, it's also the timeline. It has decor ideas that you can do from the store, the grocery store. I like that. No glue gun necessary, by the way. Although you can glue some acorns to your pumpkin if you want. I don't know. Everything that you need is there. There's also, besides the timeline, which by the way is that's right there is gold. There's also things like, a trouble buster. If you have some kind of issue going on, we can fix it. It's the 911 call that you need. Everything that you need is there. Lots and lots of good stuff. And even better, we have it in all the different versions. So if you're interested, go to savingdinner.com/Thanksgiving. And by the way, share that with your friends. We're really proud of that work. I did the original one, of course. My mother did the shopping list and went through it with her editorial eye way back when. This is the original one, the one that has muzzy stuffing recipe in it. And then over the years, we've added the keto style one. We've added the low carb one, and even I think there's a vegetarian one as well. We've added all of them, and you have access to all of them. You just have to go to the right place to get them. Okay? Just thought I would put that out there. Also, last week we did the Gorgeous Skin webinar, and we had a little technical difficulty getting everything going at the beginning. But once we got going pretty strong. And I'm just inviting you. We had some good feedback on that. I'm just inviting you, if you want to see and understand how your skin is vital to your health. And I say it's your skin is your health's calling card. It's also your largest organ. Knowing about your skin's microbiome, how to get good skin from the inside out and the outside in is crucial. You can find our webinar at savingdinner.com/gorgeous. And I would invite you to go do that, because I really, we need to have this information so that we can be the very best that we can be. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's stuff, because today's stuff is important. We're talking a little bit about how those little hinges swing great big doors. That's one of my favorite quotes. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I believe is the biggest hinge out of those little hinges, if you will. One of the biggest door openers, and I'm really excited to share this with you. But first, the quote of the week is pretty darn good, and I love this one because boy, do I know from personal experience how true this is. And that is, we generate fears while we sit, and we overcome them by action. Henry Lake said that. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that I can just catastrophize up a storm if I keep myself in the sitting position. I also know that I can overcome it and realize that I can get it behind me and I can go through it if I'm doing something. It is that remarkable. It is that amazing. So just think about this. These are things for you to ponder. And by the way, when we give you the quotes of the week, why not put that in your journal and let that stir the pot a little bit and get you writing? You know, it's one of our tools. All right, let's talk about it. So as you know, this is one of my favorite quotes: little hinges swing big doors, because isn't that the absolute truth? It's true. Those little hinges hold on to huge slabs of wood or whatever it's made of and make that door open and close, open and close. Without the hinges, you don't have a door. You just have a slab of wood. You don't have anything without those hinges. So understand this in our lives too, that the big things that we're wanting oftentimes have very much something to do with getting those hinges right. You know what happens if a door isn't hung right, right? You'll see light coming through on the bottom. You'll see the unevenness of it. It might even stick. Hanging a door is an art form, and hanging a door in our lives with those hinges is also an art form, but not one that we should be intimidated by, but one instead we should take great pride in the craftsmanship of hanging these doors and using those hinges. And you know what one of the biggest little hinges in my life has been? Gratitude. Gratitude. Now, don't scurry away and say, oh, I was hoping for some big mystical, wonderful thingy. Don't do that. Just hear me out, because I've got some stuff for you here that I think is really going to make a big, big difference. We easily get sucked into complaining. It's easy. I mean, how often are we just like finding ourselves in the place of just, there we go, into the complaining place. And we think about those same old toxic thoughts over and over again. We relive them. The feelings come with them. And we get the same old everything that we've always gotten with them. But it's just habit that puts us back into that complaining mode. It's easy to do. Easy. But the thing with gratitude, it opens your heart. It does something different for you. Completely different for you. What you start to notice is that you see possibilities rather than the limitations. You start to see solutions rather than the problems, and you start to see a little bit of empathy creeping in, a little bit of grace instead of the put downs in the impatience. And that's not just with others, by the way. It's also with yourself. It's also with yourself. So understand this, that gratitude is like honey to bees. You become more attractive and people want to be more in your stratosphere. They want to buzz into your orbit. Notice how I threw a pun in there. Sorry, I got a little scratch here. I don't know what that is. You feel better all the time too, right? Gratitude just makes you feel better. You feel more positive. You have less pain. Did you know that? Remember how all of this stuff works. More appreciation, more deliberate being in the moment. You're appreciating the present. You're taking life as it comes. You're stopping to smell the roses. And the other thing that gratitude does is it energizes you like nothing else. It's like the Energizer bunny. It elevates your mood, inspires, and absolutely transforms. That's how powerful gratitude is. And get this, in the good book, you know the one I'm talking about, we're told to give thanks. We are told, give thanks. Not like it'd be a good idea or while, pray this way and do this. But no. You're told, give thanks. 72 times in the Old Testament and 71 times in the New. That's a lot. That's a lot. And there's something behind that. And why? Okay, why? And besides the fact that it's just a polite and good thing and the right thing to do, right? We all know that. It's because thankfulness and gratitude is not just please and thank you. It's not. It is a way of life. It is a way of looking at things. It is a perspective that clears the air, that makes your way so much different. It makes your way so much different. You ever walked through something that's just really hard, like at the beach? You've gone to the beach and it's the waves are crashing at your feet and the sand is super soggy. Try walking through that. That's really tough. But then if you go up onto the solid area on the beach, you can walk through that a whole lot easier. That's what gratitude does. It just kind of fills in all of those areas where it's kind of mushy and kind of fallen apart and gives you a firm foundation. That's what it does. And it also is indicative of how you show up for others, how you show up for yourself, and how you show up for your purpose. Your purpose is found through gratitude. Did you know that? Your purpose is found through gratitude. Gratitude is how vibrancy begins to show up in your life. And not until then. Not until then. You cannot have ingratitude and vibrancy at the same time. They are polar opposites of one another. And here's the other thing. You don't say, well, okay, I'll be vibrant and then I'll be thankful. Give me vibrancy now and then I'll be thankful and have gratitude. You have to have that first, even in the smallest things, even when things are really crappy. Finding gratitude in the smallest things is the thing that's going to make all the difference in the world. This is what got people through Nazi prison camps. Gratitude is the thing that moved the needle for a lot of people in dire circumstances. It's why they survived. So gratitude also creates physiological changes within yourself. You get oxytocin, you get endorphins, you get serotonin, you get dopamine. All the feel-good hormones come flooding in and take up space in your body instead of all the other garbage that was there. That's what gratitude does. Positive emotions, improved health, better equipped to deal with adversity, disappointment, have stronger relationships. Your brain even structurally changes. Get that? Your brain structurally changes. This is the truth. You get new rewiring, right? So think about this for a minute. Think about a house that needs to be rewired. I remember one time we were looking at houses and we found this really cool old house, and it had old tube and I don't know, something tube wiring or whatever. And Mark's like, oh, no, never. That's dangerous and it's expensive to do it. Well, sometimes we're all walking around with that old tube wiring. We need to have the updated stuff. And we don't, and oftentimes our brains are relying on old information, old outdated tech that has nothing to do with where you are today. Nothing to do with where you are today. And it's time to make the switch. We have to make the switch. And get this, that complaining, you've heard me talk about this before, how complaining actually shrinks your brain, right? But it is the polar opposite as well to gratitude. And listen, I've addressed this repeatedly here privately with coaching clients a lot, because it is that imperative that complaining gets shrunk down and not your brain. The part of your brain that gets shrunk down, it's your hippocampus. That's responsible for problem solving and intelligent thought, your ability to adapt, your memories. We could be warping our memories with just garbage. We could be doing that. And get this, this is what Harvard said, that complaining literally makes you dumber. I don't know about you, but I need every smart cell in my brain that I can possibly muster. I don't need to be dumb. Do you? I don't think so. So the other thing is even listening to it. You ever have somebody in your life who just endlessly complains? Yeah, I have too. And it just happens. So don't listen to it. Clap it down. Like you shut the kitchen at night, shut down the complaining. Even if it's from your toddler, even if it's from your husband, even if it's from whomever. And you can do it in a nice way. You just let them know, no, let's talk about X. Let's do this. Let's to your toddler. Let's sing a song. You can't be complaining and whining if you're singing a song, can you? And maybe your husband needs that too. I don't know, just whatever you need to do. But we don't want to do it in any way. We don't want to participate in it. It brings zero value to your life and anyone's life around you, especially when you get the problem, you get the, whatever's going on. Let's move on. How can we fix this? What can we do differently about it? So I want to, before we try to fix the problem, we need to get into the very foundational principle of creating a gratitude practice. Because just like there are so many practices out there, meditation practice and yoga practice, all these different practices, they call them practices, is because you do them and it's different every time, and you learn something different every time. I did a meditation today, way different than any other meditation that I've ever had. It was interesting, and I liked it. I learned from it, but that's why it's a practice. It helps us to hone in on being fully present for it, and we get the experience that we get out of it. Same with gratitude. So how do you create your own gratitude practice? I've got some things for you. Number one, write down those things that you're grateful for, at least 3, and do them every day. In our Take Back Your Life journal, which I can't reach for, it's right over here. But in our Take Back Your Life journal, we have a place for you to put that every day. We remind ourselves that we are grateful people, and this is how we roll, and it makes all the difference in the world. So write it down, at least 3 things. Number 2, you got a great big problem, then you need to practice some great big gratitude. Write it down, put it in. You can even have a gratitude journal if you want. I've shared this before with you, but I have these journals that I purchase. They're $1 each. And I get them, either at the dollar store, or sometimes I even get them on Amazon in a pack. But like this one's my work journal, where I journal ideas and things. And we have a consultant that we work with, and I put my stuff in here. And this is my personal stuff that I put in, that I'm working on. And I like to separate them out because I used to mix them all up, and then I'd be going, where is all of that stuff? But this is a great dumping ground, if you will, for practicing this stuff and making it become a part of who you are. That's what a practice is, by the way. It's a part of of what it is that you do, and it's part of who you are, and you're practicing it. You are full of gratitude. And that might even be an affirmation that you write out for yourself. I am full of gratitude today. I'm joyfully full of gratitude. I'm abundantly full of gratitude. We want to be able to feel that in our big, beautiful self here. We want to be able to feel it. You might want to, if you don't do it now, we've all done this at the table, join hands with whomever's with you and have a moment of gratitude with God. Thankful for the food. There's just a moment. You don't have to have a big, long, flowery prayer. Just that moment, just to capture that moment that we recognize where it came from. And gratitude is one of the best seasonings you can sprinkle on anything, by the way. Number 4 is watch your language, young lady. Big time. Watch your language, because your language, like, oh man, they gave me the wrong order. If you're sitting there at, a Starbucks and they gave you the wrong order, and you walk up and you're mean as a junkyard dog to the poor little lady at the coffee counter, there goes your gratitude right down the drain. I mean, you should have a little gratitude for the fact that you can even afford to walk in there and pay $4 for a cup of coffee, or however much it costs. Dead serious. We need to really watch our language and watch how our words can impact somebody else's day. Oh, you know what? This is wrong. This isn't my order. I ordered the X, Y, and Z. Will you please fix this for me? With a smile, out of gratitude. I really appreciate that. That makes somebody's day versus running on over them. No. Number 5, use quotes, vision boards, your mindful mug, whatever it is that's going to remind you that this is who you are. You are a woman of gratitude, and you express it and you live it. You practice gratitude, right? Things to remind you of who you are. That's a beautiful thing. And number 6, your why. I think everybody's why is we all want vibrancy, don't we? Well, You know how you get there? Follow the gratitude road. Follow the gratitude road. Da 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 da. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Oh, yeah, I'm making up songs as I go. Where I borrowed that from. But that is the whole thing. We want vibrancy. Vibrancy in every single part of our lives. That vibrancy comes from a life that is led by gratitude. Keep that together. Number 7, being grateful is thankfulness for what you have right now. Right? For what you have right now. Now remember, yes, you can want more. Yes, goals are fine. And I, how I absolutely drill in your head that you have to have goals. But where we are right now isn't just a holding place for where we're going to go tomorrow. It's not. It's to be captured and lived in fully right now today. And gratitude helps to ground us and keep us in that place. Helps us to land in our current situation and in our lives. And even when things aren't just pristine and perfect, we can still have gratitude for something about that life right now today. Can't we? I believe we can have a lot of gratitude for that. So remember this, how you see things is a direct correlation to how much you're filling your little cup with gratitude. It is. It just is. Shakespeare calls ingratitude the vilest weed that grows. Wow. That's pretty scathing. So if we want to live our lives vibrantly and in full bloom, by the way, gratitude requires that those weeds be pulled and that our beautiful, fully bloomed flowers be cultivated. That's how this whole thing works. We can cultivate things with love. And they've actually done experiments where people have yelled at plants and they've withered and they haven't grown as well, versus people have spoken beauty and beautiful truth to their plants and they've grown. I think that's why I've had plants as long as I've got plants that I've had for over 10 years. They still keep growing. I speak lovingly to them and I have gratitude for them making my house pretty. I think plants make a house pretty. So besides watering them, speak lovingly to them. They've even shown this with water, by the way. They take water and they speak to it and then they look at it underneath a microscope and they see all kinds of beautiful things. Seriously, you can find that on YouTube as well. So how do we do this then? We begin with a daily gratitude practice. And I will tell you, if you start a daily gratitude practice, you will never want to go back because it will completely change your perspective, completely change your heart. And even in the times when it gets just a little rough and things are a little wonky, you can always fall back into your gratitude practice and smooth that stuff out pretty quickly. I love gratitude. I love you. And I have an immense amount of gratitude for the fact that you are here and showing up. Thank you so much for that. I will see you for tomorrow for Transformational Tip Tuesday. You don't want to miss this show. You got me? See you later. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.